Hey, John.
Eric, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. Doing all right. I can still see out of both eyes, so that's a positive.
Oh yeah. You had your I did see you yesterday. Your eye was very, very bloodshot.
I did something to my left eye on Sunday, I think, and it's one of those things where you're just like, I must be old because I don't remember bumping my head into anything or
Stop shoving a pencil into your eye.
the something. The only thing I can remember is I think I got some lotion in my eye and and so I was trying to wipe it out with my hand and anyways, I just thought, well, it'll get better. It's just sore. And like 3 days go by and nothing. So yesterday afternoon, I'm fine. I can't, it was starting to hurt and I just couldn't deal with it anymore. So I went to the eye doctor. Fortunately, they had a spot for me like 5 o'clock right before closing time. And they looked at it and they're like, well, here's some benefits. Number one, it's only one eyeball. If it was both, that'd be a problem.
That's not what I want to hear.
And it's, well, she was very sweet. She started with, just so you know, no issues, we can fix it. But let me tell you, and then she spent some time giving me, here's why she can say that, it's only one eyeball. When I'm looking at it, it's this. And they put a dye in my eye to highlight certain things to make sure it was all these different things. And then she gets her little model of the eyeball and pops it open and says, here's what happened. You probably something happened and you rubbed your eye and scraped off this top layer of whatever and irritated it, probably with a finger that had some kind of bacteria on it. So it's now infected.
Okay.
And then once it got infected, it got inflamed. So I'm just going to give you an eye drop that has both an anti-inflammatory and antibacterial.
Uh-huh.
And if it's not better in 3 days, call me. So I now have to take eye drops three times a day.
Okay. But that's not the worst of the
no.
things.
That's of the bad things that could happen. She was like, does your vision look different? Is it cloudy? She's going through all these things. I'm like, no.
My eye just hurts.
It just hurts and it's red.
It burns.
Yeah, last night after I put the eye drop in, like I was at the pharmacy at 10 o'clock at night trying to get this eye drop.
Okay.
And finally got the eye drop, got home, put it in, went to bed, and then my eye hurt all night. I couldn't sleep. So I'm like, Of
course.
But today it's much better. Today I'm feeling much, so whatever, that initial reaction of the eyeball to the medicine was unpleasant, but today much better. This is great podcast material, by the way. I'm realizing that.
I'm really glad. I'm glad you have what do you call it when you have two eyes?
Double vision? No.
No, that's right.
Stereoscopic vision.
Stereoscopic. Thank you. That's the right word.
There we go.
I was going for bifocal, as in two eyes, and I'm like, no. That's what I need for glasses. Not anyway. Well, good. Yeah. I'm glad your eyes are on the mend, so to speak.
So how was your weekend? Because that was mine.
Pretty good. I mean, mine's nowhere near yours, but I did donate blood on Saturday.
Nice.
And I still have this massive kind of bruise in my elbow from, I think, maybe the gal. I'm not sure if it was going in or coming out. The gal was pretty aggressive with the vein. I assume it's a vein, not an artery. I guess I don't even know which one they're going into there, but anyway. But okay, it's all right. But my big news is that it was like 60-some degrees this weekend.
Yeah.
We had the cold snap
after the ice storm. Yeah,
crazy. And so actually, I've had a number of people say, "Hey, are your bees still alive?" And I'm like, I don't know, but I'll check on them. So I went, and there was good activity outside 4 of the 5 hives. And I saw a couple bees fly into even the 5th. So I'm going to go with I have 4.25 hives alive at the moment. if we kind of speak
Stay
probabilistically. So So my fingers are crossed.
Nice.
My fingers are crossed. I'm trying not to count my bees before spring, so to speak, because the last 2 years I have killed 6 of 7 and then 7 of 8, I think, which, have been 2 bad years in a row.
Fingers and toes crossed for you.
Yeah. So, and then what else? So I did pruning in the orchard. So we've got a bunch of fruit trees, and so I got a bunch of them pruned because it was nice outside, and sprayed for the peaches because I don't know. I'm gonna wind up having to just give up on the peaches. I just can't keep the peach leaf curl away. I think, but I'm giving it the good old college try. Sprayed them, and then I'll do it a couple more times here. So that's good. And then the final thing that I threw in notes here is that I've given up on Tableau. I don't know what's going on, but
so I have one too.
A Tableau?
And yes, the Tableau.
Okay.
And apparently they have discontinued their older models and they're going in for a new 4th generation Tableau. And I remember seeing an email about it at some point, like a long time ago, warning me this was happening. So I assume you probably have an email somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't. You can't use your old Tableau with the new Tableau accounts. So your old Tableau is only going to live for as long as its lifespan. They're not replacing them, refurbishing them, fixing them. They went ahead and gave everybody that has an existing Tableau the free,
like the lifetime channel info.
The channel
guide.
info. They gave just everybody free channel info guide. And then they're like, but we're not supporting, please upgrade to the new, time for new hardware, upgrade to the new hardware if you want to continue a Tableau. Because I went to, not knowing, paying attention, I went to just try to, my Tableau was all screwed up. And I was like, well, how do I just register for the Tableau and make it do it again? So I created a new Tableau account and couldn't get it to log in. And it was found out, it doesn't accept the old hardware. It's only the new hardware for new Tableau accounts. So if it goes wonky, you're out of luck, as far as I can tell. So I've given up on my Tableaus as well because I couldn't get them to work. Once they lose, there's no way to access them. They're updated. Although on the flip side, should I bother to figure out, I am sure there are now open source projects where people have hacked the Tableaus to still provide different things, be able to access it. So maybe hunt through your email from Tableau and see
I totally just found one.
There you go.
I feel burnt. I wonder, maybe I'll do this.
Yeah. So
is it worth another $100? So thank you for that. But my wife's pretty upset as well. She's because that was how we were getting TV is over the air, and
right.
And it seems like it has. The irony is, sometime in the last few months, I bought another Tableau just because I thought it was the old one going wrong. I'm kind of upset that I'd never read this in my email. It was probably in the, I don't know, what's that, a third tab in Gmail, the promotions or something like that, which I never go to. Okay, well, thank you for for debugging.
Sorry about that.
Eric's hardware debugging show. Appreciate that.
Anytime.
Okay. Well, I think that's probably good. What about topics? You bring a topic tonight?
So the one that I found interesting, I guess I'll call it. It's a Krebs on security article, a Krebs article. It was actually, I think, from a week or so ago, but it was a reminder that using Google search to find software can be risky. So, somebody says, hey, I need software to do ads. Oh, just Google it. I mean, you want to do anything, you just Google it, right? How do I do blah? And you get answers. So, as Google, and reading from the article, continues to struggle with cyber criminals running malicious ads on its search platform to trick people into downloading booby-trapped copies of popular free software applications, The malicious ads, which appear above organic search results and then often precede links to legitimate sources to the same software, can make searching for software on Google a dicey affair.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's yet another reminder that just, Googling something and saying, click and find it. So the article has a lot more detail because cyber crooks are figuring out, quote, ingenious ways to fly beneath Google's anti-abuse radar. And examples of bad ads are still very common.
Yeah.
That's a long sigh.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
So if you search for anything, like there's FreeCAD, for example, earlier this week, this was last week, a couple weeks ago, but if you search for a free graphic design program, FreeCAD would be the first thing to show up, which is a legitimate piece of software. You go to freecad.org and you get it. The search result, though, that sponsored ad at the top of the search result was to freecad-us.org. And so it, of course, claims that it's the official FreeCAD website, but it's not. It's actually freecad.org. And the comment he goes into, well, how do we know that freecad-us.org is malicious? Well, if you just look at domaintools.com, it was just registered on January 19th, 2024. And the IP address that it references hosts 200 other domains that are with similarly confusing software titles such as dashlameproject.com, filezillasoft.com, keepermanager.com, libreofficeproject.com. So lots of legitimate software that people would be looking for, but with a slightly different domain. And as long as Google allows bad actors to continue to pay probably small sums of money to get people to download bad software
and get at the top of the search rankings.
Yeah, you sneak your way to the top, and there you go. So anyways, it goes through a lot of stuff, and there's some background on some researchers who have been tracking this kind of stuff. And you would think if someone can track this kind of stuff, somebody with the resources of Google ought to be able to track this kind of stuff.
It's an incentive and motivation thing, though.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just it. As long as if I stop doing this, I lose money.
One of my favorite statements. Yes.
Yes.
I'll say it in a gender neutral way, as opposed to the quote that I remember. At least it's difficult to get a person to understand something when their job depends on them not understanding it.
Exactly. I love that quote too. It's a great quote. So for this one, just a reminder, Googling something, seeing ads, just because someone clearly is paying for an ad doesn't mean that it's legit. People pay for fake ads a lot. We see that a lot, especially on social media platforms. A funny one that I actually just hit, I think yesterday, my boy and I send each other Instagram reels back and forth, ones we think that are funny. And I was flipping through and I saw this Instagram reel, and it referred to these. You remember the animated film How to Train Your Dragon?
Uh-huh.
I think that's
Absolutely.
what it was called. And Toothless, whatever I don't remember his name.
No, Toothless is right. I don't remember the boy's name.
Toothless looking dragons that had suction cups on their feet, and you stick it on your car, and then you drive down the road. And I thought, that looks cute. My daughter would love that. I wonder how much that would cost. I click on the ad, and it goes out of Instagram, goes to the website. The website says, this site has been taken down for fraudulent activity. If you've ordered anything from this website, please contact your bank and ask for a chargeback.
Ooh.
I'm like, so the site, the selling site, knew that it was fraudulent and blocked it before Instagram stopped.
Interesting. I wonder if
showing
it was on,
the ad.
It must have been on one of the like Shopify kind of places or something like that.
It was, yeah. It was one of those sites, And
I don't remember if I said this on the podcast a couple years ago. I got one of those sorts of things that was like, a Facebook ad for some, essentially what was it, like an advent calendar, like a special advent calendar for I got a couple years ago, and it was for a show my wife really enjoyed, and so it, was kind of a gag gift, but also kind of a, oh, this is going to be fun. And it was so disappointing because it came and then we waited for like a couple weeks for December 1st to roll around. And then it was, even though the branding was what it was, that was not what was in. It was like somebody had taken and just thrown random toys into the advent calendar that had nothing to do with what the branding was on the outside or what I had ordered.
Yeah.
I was pretty upset because it was,
yeah.
It's not like it was super expensive, but it also wasn't cheap. And it was clearly just, at least something came, I guess. But anyway, we just threw it away. And I don't even remember if I asked for a refund. It was just disappointing. But
yeah.
Anyway. All right. Well, App Store if you can.
Yeah. Pay attention to what you download.
Yeah. And, yeah. I'm a big fan of open source, but gotta be careful.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, speaking of Facebook, Instagram, Facebook.
Meta.
Sorry. I apologize. You're right. Meta. Because the metaverse is a real thing, hypothetically, at some point.
No, we've already pivoted from that.
Anyway. So this is a link to a Consumer Reports article, which is interesting, I thought. But they took, in cooperation with some other company, which evidently I didn't copy the other company's name out, 709 volunteers who shared archives of their Facebook data. So Facebook does make it easy for you to download, your data.
Okay.
But and they're very clear that this is not a rigorous scientific study or anything like this, because these are self-selected people who voluntarily uploaded their data. So they are, probably Consumer Report subscribers, probably more privacy conscious, or at least aware that there's a possibility. They figured out how to go download this data in the first place. And so there is a quote, "Not making any claims about how representative the sample is of the U.S. population as a whole. But after parsing through these, 700 people that uploaded their data, Consumer Reports found that a total of 186,892 companies sent data about these people to Facebook. So this isn't just your Facebook history, your Facebook social graph, everything else. This is Facebook as a SDK provider, telemetry provider to other companies who leverage Facebook and send data about your activity to Facebook so that they can get a service for free. And then Facebook winds up being the ingester and correlator and aggregator and persister of all this data. So on average, each participant in the study had their data sent to Facebook by 2,230 companies. This really makes me want to download my stuff, because do I still have stuff out there? Even though I don't go to Facebook, I don't think I deleted my account. So anyway, so the number varied significantly, with some panelists' data listing over 7,000 companies providing their data. So most people are aware that you do a Google search, or you do some sort of search for something, or you browse to some site, and then all of a sudden you're seeing ads for that site and other things. And it happens all the time. But let's see. So the thing they said about this was that, one of the things that, I said it made a mention a moment ago with saying it's a SDK thing, but because this is how you basically get the server to server tracking, where the data can go from company servers to Meta servers, not just the tracking pixels that they put everywhere as well. No other major conclusions I'll make about this. This is just a
yeah.
The scope of the problem is big.
Yeah.
Scope of the problem is big. So There you go. That was the article I chose.
Nice. Nice. Well, I have something quite fun.
Oh, do you?
At least I think it is. Right? You know that Doom was the game to have
Oh, yeah.
on DOS back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
You would run
I was
Doom.
in college when we ran Doom on everything. And yeah.
Well, now Doom, right? The Doom has been the thing that hackers try to figure out how to get running on all sorts of things.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
Tractors. It run,
I think one of the funniest things I saw was trying to get Doom to run, or getting Doom to run on the processor activity of was it like 64 processors in a computer? So how can you you basically treat the processor activity as pixels?
Exactly. Right. Down to, these new digital pregnancy tests. You can play Doom on the screen of a digital pregnancy test. Well, this one takes it one step further. An MIT biotechnology PhD student, Lauren Wren Ramlan, has coaxed a simulation of E. coli bacteria into rudimentary screen capable of displaying the iconic video game.
No way.
Yes. And there's a YouTube video. It's about 6 minutes long. You totally have to go watch it. Ren is hilarious because, at the end, it's, even I won't spoil it, but the credits at the end, hilarious.
Okay.
So you got to go watch the video. But anyways, just to kind of read from this article, before you get too excited about playing games in a petri dish, there's a catch. According to Ramlan simulation, displaying a single frame of Doom on these bioluminescent bacteria, should anyone attempt to do this with the real thing, would take roughly 70 minutes, with a full reset to the bacteria's original state taking a whopping 8 hours and 20 minutes. So, however...
So you can get them to react and turn on quicker than they turn off. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So she engineered a system where the bacteria would function as a 1-bit pixel, toggling between these light and dark states. It uses a 32 by 48 array containing genetically modified E. coli that can be induced to fluorescence, creating this pixel-like grid structure.
Oh, that's awesome.
She did the math, though, that if you wanted to actually try to play the average Doom game, run around for a little bit and shoot things and whatever, it would take nearly 600 years using her current simulation. So, it'll be a while. But this is interesting in that in the future, we have proven that you could use some biological means for a screen. So screens of biological nature as opposed to bits of sand.
There was a ship in Babylon 5 that was like this. Yeah.
So anyways, that is my something fun.
So this is her final project, or their final project in
her
405
PhD project.
Principles of Synthetic Biology.
Yes.
Okay.
So a lot of fun. You got to watch the video. The video is fun.
Okay, but which? There's there's literally 20
the one
YouTube
in the article.
links. There's literally 20
Oh, no.
links.
So the article so you're actually reading her paper.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I clicked on the paper.
If you go to the article that we'll link, it gives the overview. But yeah, the article has the link to the full paper. But if you just go read the video or watch it's about 6 minutes long in the YouTube or in the Register article. It gives, anyways. It's a lot of fun. I just thought that was super cool.
Okay.
Running Doom on E. coli.
Okay.
So there you go. That's my something fun this week.
Okay. Well, that certainly makes me giggle. Okay.
All right.
Well, my thing is also a biological thing. I saw a link. I saw a New York Times link is actually where I saw this, but then I still don't subscribe to the New York Times. So I actually Googled who it was, and it was the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, where was a hospital where this was done. So this is the first gene therapy to treat genetic hearing loss, and it has been successful. So this was they didn't say this wasn't a CRISPR or anything. They just said gene therapy. So I don't know what the type it was, at least from the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia article, but that says they are proud to announce the initial results of an experimental gene therapy treatment of a patient with hereditary hearing loss in the United States. They've been, working towards this for 20 years. It's finally here. While the gene therapy we performed in our patient was to correct an abnormality in one very rare gene, these studies may open the door for future use for some of the over 150 other genes that cause childhood hearing loss. So this is an 11-year-old who was born with otoferlin gene, OTOF-mediated hearing loss, was the first patient to receive this gene therapy in the study on October 4th, so literally just 4 months ago. The patient underwent a surgical procedure at CHOP. A single small dose of a gene therapy containing copies of the normal OTOF gene was delivered directly to the inner ear. The patient was born profoundly deaf in both ears. Now almost 4 months since receiving the investigational gene therapy in one ear, the patient's hearing has improved enough he now only has mild to moderate hearing loss in the ear that was treated. The patient is literally hearing sound for the first time in his life. He can hear his father's voice, the sound of a car passing by, and even the scissors clipping his hair. So, super exciting.
Yeah.
There wasn't data in this about how many children are born with this OTOF gene. They did say the 150 genes.
Right.
But they also said about 1 in 500 newborns are affected by some form of genetic hearing loss, which seemed high to me. I mean, I guess I wouldn't have known what to expect, but 1 in 500 seems not low. So super exciting. Super exciting. I was trying to figure out if they were using CRISPR or something, like what was the genetic treatment, but I didn't find that. But I did find that the company was called Akouos, Akouos.
Okay.
And Eli Lilly bought them basically 2 years ago, presumably on the strength of this particular potential treatment, because the irony that it was just kind of ironic in the press release. It was like, basically sold for $12 per share plus up to an additional $3 per share. And they have this whole like, contingent value rights. Like basically if the treatments get, past these certain hurdles, then they get more money. And there's a whole and it's all spelled out actually in the assignment, which is, I guess it's not like I read these all the time, so I guess I don't know what normal is. But the reason I thought this was funny, it said they get an extra $1 per share, $1 of this CVR, if the upon the fifth participant being administered with AK-OTOF, so this is what this was, in a phase 1 or phase 1/2 trial on or prior to December 31st, 2024. So they've clearly done at least one. Right. So presumably they have 4 more patients to administer, and then they get an extra buck. At least in this. So good for whoever the Atwos people or Aquos people are in this. I don't know. I read this whole paragraph and I was like, oh, okay, because it's literally it's on. There's a whole bunch of stipulations and conditions and provisos. Anyway.
Well, it is nice. It's basically saying the more successful this treatment is, the more money we'll give you.
Well, aligning incentives. Aligning incentives is a good thing, important thing. So anyway, but fundamentally, good for the kid. That's exciting. I hope that he finds hearing to be an exciting thing. And I was trying to think of the sort of, how do you sort of get used to sounds after not having heard anything for 11 years? And, as a, I guess not an adult, but as a certainly not young child.
Yeah. I want to say I've seen a YouTube video of a kid hearing for the first time and they're very emotional videos like those, or kids who get glasses for the first time, who have really bad eyesight, and finally they're old enough that doctors can diagnose how to actually fix their eyesight, and having them see their mom for the first time. Really, it's
Okay.
super cool. That kind of, there's good things going on out there.
There are a lot of good things.
And we need more of those.
There are a lot of good things. Well, here you go. Well, I actually threw like 3 things into Slack that I could have chosen for my something fun. So now I've got a plethora of something funs for the next few weeks. No more fun stuff. I got enough at the moment. That's okay. All right. Anyway,
we'll go watch that video.
All right.
Really is.
I will go watch I will go watch Bacterial Doom.
Yeah, right. It doesn't actually show you try to play it because, you don't have 600 years to watch it. But
I hope it at least has a frame.
The PhD student her presentation is quite humorous.
That's great. Okay, I will watch it. All right, talk to you later, Eric.
All right, have a good one, John.
Bye.
Bye.